inside the cab. I looked at the broken body inside. The flesh had been ripped away by the force of the storm, the face nothing now but an ugly mask of exposed bone. I crawled past it as low as I could, pushing the corpse's feet out of the way to make room for myself. It didn't take long before I heard the machine. It spewed a cloud of black smoke out of the two pipes rising up above it, two dark stains against a darkening sky. There was a tiny window near the bottom of the door of the truck I was in, and I pressed my face up against it, watching as they approached. There were 4 men inside the machine, and they stepped out, each of them with rags wrapped around their faces to protect themselves from the dust swirling around them. I slowly drew my sword from its scabbard, pushing the dead man's feet aside so I'd have room to lunge if I had to. I watched the small mound where the tusker hide was hidden. I was wondering why they'd come out this far. I didn't think they were looking for survivors. The chances of that were slight. I told myself they had to have come out for a different reason before realizing they were coming towards the truck I was in. I looked at the body in the truck. It was obvious the driver of the truck had to be one of the slavers, and I wondered what he had that the others wanted. I looked around the inside of the cab and then saw it. There was a tiny green light flashing near the big wheel inside. I could see numbers on it. I didn't know what it was, but something told me that that's what they were looking for. One of the men reached into the machine they'd been driving, and suddenly I could hear a loud screech of noise. I jumped at the suddenness of the noise and then looked out of the tiny window again. One of the men was coming towards the truck. If he kept walking in the same direction, he'd trip over the tusker hide. It was too late for me to do anything. I straightened myself out as much as I could, reaching for my longbow. Another one of the men followed, carrying a tool of some sort, while the third man did whatever it was he'd done before so that the noise screeched out again. The first man pointed at the truck I was hiding in. He took 3 more steps and tripped over Jen. I could hear her scream out. All of the men ran to where they'd heard the noise, and I could hear the